Yo, 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 what's going on, folks? How you doing? Kunal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Hope you guys had a great day. It's about midnight on July 5th. I want to talk to you a little bit about something I think is really, really important in trading, which is save your mental capital. So what I mean by that is that there's two types of capital in trading, right? You have your financial capital, which means, your account size, how much you can lose. And then you have your mental capital of, am I able to stay alert and in the game and follow my game plan throughout the day so that I can hit the stocks that are on my watch list when they need to be. And like today, I got stuck at the open in trading the NVIDIA, and it was stuck in a range pretty much that whole open. And what ended up happening was I had a whole host of stocks that were really my top plays in the morning. And I blew so much time on NVIDIA that I was just ended up, after that first 1 hour, I was essentially just checked out. I kind of hit my max pain of what I wanted to lose for the day. And, I started missing the rest of my plays. And so, what you can see here is like, there's NVIDIA. I don't do this very often, but every blue moon it just happens. That's just the nature of the game. But you can see like this stock gapped up. And so, I was initially playing this thing for a green to red and a fade back, essentially, back to these lows. And so I caught a short up here, and I ended up being up about $1 on this thing. And then it spiked up a little bit and then, came down. And I was actually up on it a couple times. And then it just kind of spiked up, and my gain turned into a loss. So I was being a little bit greedy. It hit support, and my gain turned into a loss. And that right off the bat irked me because I'm usually not that greedy. Like when a stock comes down to support levels and moving averages, I usually will cover some and then let some ride for the home run. And instead, as this thing was going down, I went for the home run and I added too low. So I doubled up my position, which I like to do. I like to add the winners, but they have to be at the right time. And so I doubled up on my position, and now this thing was kind of ranging. See how it's just kind of ranging around in the morning, and I'm taking small losses on this thing a couple times, and it just ended up horrific, right? So like I shorted right here with the anticipation of this break under the VWAP, and it came down to 141.80, and so I was up like $1.20 on it, and then boom, 2 candles later, it's at 143.60, right? And so that's a $2 range. I had about 500 shares, so I might have had too many shares also. And so, I ended up stopping out of this thing, and then it comes back down. I re-shorted it as it broke under the VWAP, and, I ended up about $1 and some change on it again, and then it reversed back, and it turned into a loss. And, a couple things you can do is, number one, if you're up $1 or $2 on a stock, lower your stop to your buy price or short price to minimize your risk, but also so that you don't have to babysit and you can move on to other plays. Because, I have, like, in the morning, I hunt for gappers in the morning, right? And so one of the things that I had was I had all these stocks for gappers. So, in my pre-market, so for my mentorship group, I work with people one-on-one for a 6-month period where I work with them every week. I have daily morning webinars with them, and then they come to my house for a period of time. And for my mentorship group, there's about 10 people in it. I do a morning class like an hour before the market opens, 45 minutes before the market opens. And we were talking about some stocks that had news out there, and I had, we had all these stocks that were really on our watch list that looked like just amazing plays that we could have hit right off the bat. I like to hit these right at the open, these gapped out bad news plays. And you can see like there were these stocks like Oral that does, opening range type of plays and bear flags. And, you had $20 potential moves on this thing. And here I am fighting for pennies and scraps on NVIDIA. And, it's just unacceptable, right? And so, you end up with Tesla, right, was another stock that was on my watch list. I see I had that gap down, and these gap down bad news plays are my bread and butter. These are my bread and butter. I love shorting stocks that gap down on bad news because they tend to follow through multiple times throughout the day. They'll opening range breakout at the morning, then they'll VWAP test later in the mid-morning, late afternoon, and then they tend to fiddle into the fizzle into the close. I'm sorry, long day. But you know, I missed all these too. You know, you have really easy patterns that I could have been playing, you know, short into the VWAPs and things of that nature. These were on my watch list. These were my, you know, top stocks to watch. But rather than, you know, playing these, you know, I just stuck myself in no man's land with this one stock that really wasn't even moving. You know, this type of opening range breakdown is like my bread and butter pattern, you know, and that's just a monster, you know. And so just something to remember is, you know, there's your capital, and then there's your financial capital. Don't blow it all at the open fighting with the stock that really is not even ready for you, especially if you start having other stocks on your watch list trigger. So, like, you know, keep multiple charts up and don't get so pigeonholed into one thing that you're forgetting the rest of your game plan. It's okay that I'm trading NVIDIA, right? But it's not okay that I'm missing the ORB shorts, which is my top pattern, the one that I make the most money on, and it's my quickest money that I make. You know, the 3 candle sideways ORB pattern, that's my bread and butter that I've been doing since I started this YouTube channel. And to miss these clean ones that show up, and they don't show up with $10 ranges every single day. You know, you get a handful of them every week. There's no excuse, right? Instead of having a big $3,000-$4,000 up day, right? I end up down $1,000 and mentally checked out of the game, right? Because, you know, I didn't want to really risk anymore, you know, and because by the time I was done fighting the video, all these things started to bounce. I was already late, right? And so, moral of the story: keep your charts up. Don't be so pigeonholed into one thing. Remember that we do homework at night and build watch lists for a reason, to use those watch lists. And so just something to really be mindful of. So hope that helps, guys, and take care. Let me know if you have any questions. I love hearing from you, good or bad. Feedback is always appreciated. That's the only way we get better. Just like I bark at my mentorship students all day, you know, you guys bark at me sometimes, and I take notes and try to do better. So let me know what you think. Take care and have fun.